Hello, welcome to my craft orchard. I'm Edwina. Okay, today we're going to talk about setting up a Kanban book. I did a video 3 months ago for my quarters where I set it all up for the quarter, but I don't feel I actually explained how I came to the system I was using and how to set my quarters up. So grab a piece of paper and let's make a start. So I've done a couple of videos on yourself and working out where your focus areas are and those sort of things. And it's a case of looking at who you are and what your responsibilities are and that sort of thing. So just to recap, I'm a working mom. I'm a wife, a sister, a aunt, a great aunt. I'm a friend. I'm a craft teacher. I'm a small business owner. The list goes on. Us women, we're so busy, aren't we? It might be that you're retired. It might be that you're a student. You're a working professional. Your kids are tiny. You've got babies in the house, or you might have grown-up teenagers, or even 20-year-olds, etc., etc. Everybody's system is different. Everybody's situation is totally unique to yourselves. So what you have to do is you have to look at your situation and put it into your unique planning system. So let me tell you how I came to deciding where my quarters were going to be. So if I draw a box and put that into 12, like so, and traditionally you start in January I've done that totally wrong. Let me just start that again. Beauties, I can't actually add up, that's the problem. And then those goes into 3. Yes, come on brain, start working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, so the traditional year goes from January to December, and the quarters are normally there. So end of April, end of July, no, end of March, end of June, December, end of September. So they normally go in there, don't they? So that's your traditional Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Now for a business point of view, that's perfect because the financial starts in April, and you might want to, if you're working on the proper financial system, that works perfectly. However, I don't work that way. My quarter actually starts in February to April, July to October. So that's my Q1, that's my Q2, Q3 and Q4, which goes over into January. And the reason for that is, if there's a couple of reasons. First of all, December is so busy with 2 birthdays, all of Christmas, all of the yearly planning, to try and then fit all of that in to do the next quarter planning, it just doesn't happen. It's as simple as that. It just doesn't happen. I've tried it a couple of years, it doesn't happen. The second thing is, any plans that you make at the beginning of January, by the end of January, you've failed. You know, you go on a diet at the beginning of January, by the end of January you're eating your chocolate again. If you try and go to exercise every day, it just doesn't work. Here in the UK, you're in the darkest time of the year. We're all dark, it's all miserable, the weather's awful. You just don't go to the gym. So this is why I always give myself January then to finish the yearly planning and then to start doing my quarters, because December is the busiest time when I would be planning the first quarter. If you then project that across the rest of the year, in April, because I do my VAT returns, I'm doing VAT. I'm not going to be able to, this is where we are now, we're in May, and I've only just finished planning quarter 2 because April's been so busy with the VAT. In August, July, August, I've got Harry at home, I've got kids around me for the summer. There's no way I'm going to be able to plan in that time period. So what I've done is I've looked at my year and I've gone, when are the best times to plan? When is it not a good time to plan? So that's my quarters. You might be a teacher and you start your year in September. A lot of the academic diaries actually start in July to give you that bit of pre-planning and that sort of thing. So you might want to start your quarter, or one of your quarters, you might say, oh, I'm going to start quarter 3 in September or quarter 4 in September. But because it's the beginning of the year, you might say, well, I'm actually going to put quarter 1 in September. It depends how your life runs. You don't have to put quarter 1 to 4 in the correct order, if that makes sense. Okay. Now the things I've looked at are the school holidays for this. Busy business times. Purely because September, October, November is the busiest time for my Daisycraft business. So yes, I will be planning in September, but I would have done a lot of pre-planning since then for the next quarter. Also, December is Christmas, and I want to be starting to plan my Christmas in October, you know, here in the year, not here, if that makes sense. Yeah, September's busy, October's busy, that sort of thing. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. So things I look at: school holidays, busy times of the year, and that sort of thing. What have you got coming up? If you've got a big wedding coming up, you're not going to have time to plan your next quarter if you're planning a wedding. You're not going to, you know, there's a big project at work and the final sort of push is at the end of June. You're not going to be able to plan quarter 3, so move it. It's as simple as that. A good example of this is the 12-week year, and you can start that at any time. I had a look at the book. I haven't really read it, if I'm honest, but that is another good system for deciding when your quarter's going to be. So that's how I decide where my quarters are going to be. The next thing, I'll just get another piece of paper. The next thing I'm going to show you is I watched a video by Sylvia Plans. She's also a writer. And what she did was she broke it down into a quarter. So I was quite inspired by her video. I will link it down below. So there's your quarter. So let's say we're just going into quarter 2. Okay. So that will be, for me, May, June, July. She then blocked out the 3 months like that. So what she did was she had an overall project for the 3 months. Sorry. She had an overall project for the 3 months, and then individual projects, or how is she going to break that down. So let's have a look, shall we? But she took into factors things like school, the season, other events. So let's have a look. We're in the UK. The school summer starts in July. So I'm going to put that in there. In June we've got the Jubilee bank holiday. And we might get lots of gardening projects done that weekend because we've got a full 4-day weekend, extra days bank holiday. And I've spelt Jubilee wrong. I do apologise because I'm doing this fast. Everything's going to pot today. I'm not very... So July, summer starts. We've got Jubilee weekend. We have, there is a bank holiday in May. I also have half term from the school, so Harry will be at home. It actually overlaps the Jubilee weekend, but he's half here and half there. So that week I'm not going to get a lot of project work done or anything like that. It will be mainly sort of tick over stuff and got to do's. That. So that's events, that's the school. Now what's it? We're in spring. So we're in the spring summer months. So what sort of things? So in May we're probably looking at, I know hubby Stuart wants to sort the garden out. We always sort the garden out for July for Harry's birthday anyway. So again, I've got a big, he's 7 this year, birthday. Are we going to have a party? It's not decided yet. Are we going on holiday? It's not decided yet. But those sort of things will determine how much I can get done in July. June, is there anything else happening apart from the Jubilee weekend? No, I don't think so. May, June, I'll have that to do as well in July. Because the VAT finishes in June. I want to do our end of year accounts as well in June because I always tend to leave it till the end of the year, and I want to get it done and dusted this year. So that was my big plan for June. That sort of thing. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. So what's coming up? What season are we in? That sort of thing. I've then come to my Kanban book. Now this is it's a file of facts. It's a hardcover notebook that I've been using. I am actually changing the system for May, but I thought I'd show you how this is all set up. So the first thing I do is I do a level 10 wheel, and on there I've got all of the things that I would like to change or things I want to track and that sort of thing, and I will go in and do an evaluation of myself on that every quarter. I haven't done it because it's a private thing and I didn't want you to see that, but there's an example of what it would look like before I filled it out. Okay, so that's the first thing. I've got a bit of prettiness in here. This book then is separated out, and each divider, there's a planning section, there's a home section, social media, daisy craft, personal. I've got a section for projects, that's workshops, and then a section for writing. So I've got several sections, most of them on my focus area. So that's writing, home, my craft orchard, personal, and daisy craft. I've also included my social media, even though that's part of my craft orchard. I like to sort of separate it out a bit because my craft is more the business side, and then the social media is the YouTube and that sort of thing. So in the first section is where I keep that's where that will live. And then this is where all the completed tasks that I've done are. So if we go into home, I decide from here what is going to be my main home project. So last quarter it was declutter the bedroom, sort the airing cupboard out, and get the household chores under control. And what I then did is, because home's pink, I took a load of pink post-it notes. I wrote out each individual task that I felt needed to be done for those things, and I put them there on that divider. And I did that for all of them. So you've got the list of things I want to do, and then the list of tasks on each one. Okay, like that. And then under the project section is anything that I thought might want to do, could come up. And then when I'm doing my monthly or weekly reviews, and I'm doing my brain downloads, any projects that I think are coming up, I've got a stake in the ground to put those. Okay, so then as I come to this every week, I will go down these and have a look at what I'm going to do this week. Now, there's still a lot on there. I know this is last quarter, but I have achieved a lot, because this is what I've achieved. So let's take this one here, meal planning tips, research meal planning. That's what I want to do. Okay, which is getting things like getting the house under control and that sort of thing. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it into my current planner. Now, this will all depend on what current planner you're using. So let's start with a notebook. So this is my notebook. This is actually my writing notebook, but a notebook. And you could turn to your bullet journal, and you could just put that under your week like that. Okay, so it could just sit in it. You can make a box on your week for things that you want to do off your Kanban. That's the first thing. The second thing is utilising the pockets in your planner cover. So I've made a load of cards, and actually that one says personal on the top of it, and that one says home. So what I would do is, because I've labelled them, I'd stick that post-it on there, and then that would go back into there. And I know that on Tuesdays, which is my home day, I need to pull that out and go, right, that's the priority to do today, because that's my Kanban task. And then that would sit in there. When I came to it and that had been finished, when I do my weekly setup, then that would go back into the front of here on there to show my progress. Okay, so if you're in a notebook, you could just put it on a page or create a whole bullet page for these. You could put each section and put in for the post-it note, you could put cards in the front pockets. Okay, if you're in rings, you could utilise the credit card pockets that come with rings. And again, I've made some cards, those just sit on there, and this size fits perfectly on there as well, and then those just slip into there. So as you're going through your rings, there they are, and you can just go, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay, so that's if you're in rings. And something very similar if you're in a TN. You could do what I've done here, which is just put a piece of card in, and you could put your post-its on there, so every time you open it you can see what needs to be done. Or you can, like I've got here, for bank cards, I've actually got a credit card like plastic wallet, and again you could utilise that the same as you did in your rings. Now if you're one of my regulars, you'll know that at the moment I'm actually in my Happy Planner. So what I've done with my Happy Planner is I've Frankenplanned it, so I've got various sections, and the one section I've got in here is actually a piece of card which I've decorated, which I put this post-it notes on. So I've got post-it notes on there for off my Kanban, I've got projects, and then I've got tasks lists over here for each section. So I would then go to my home section for a list of other things to do and projects, but this is the priority to keep my long-term goals going. I hope that helps. I have post-it notes for each section, so I colour code home, personal, Daisycraft, Minecraft Orchard are all colour coded. So as you can see here in my Happy Planner, I've got writing, home, Minecraft Orchard, personal and Daisycraft, and then I've actually got post-it notes that match. Actually, I think that was my writing one, and I use that one for Daisycraft because they don't do a purple. Don't do a deep purple, so I was using yellow. If that makes sense. I hope this helps. I hope you have a real good think about long-term planning and how you set your system up. This is how I'm setting mine up at the moment. It does change every time I change my system. How I set this Kanban system up has. I've used it in rings, I've used it in my TN, I've used it in a bullet journal just like this with post-it notes, and it is brilliant. The whole place that this idea of using a Kanban and post-it notes and that came from Sarah Cannon at Heart Breathings. I'll link her down below. She's a very inspirational lady. I watch nearly all of her videos for ideas and things, and this is actually where this idea comes from, but this is how I'm implementing it. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, my next video will be about Q2 and how I'm setting it up, and the new system I've put into place for that. Okay, and have a really good day. I'll see you soon. Bye.